everyone, and welcome to a new segment, Snack Chat. So this is a new concept that we came up with when we were less than sober. We came up with a great idea, a new segment called Snack Time. Okay, we thought it was a great idea then, and we still think it's a great idea now, so we're doing it. So what is Snack Chat?
So Snack Chat is going to be a time where we sit, we eat a little snack, and we chat about different topics. What's on the menu?
We're on day 5 of our quarantine because we just arrived here in the Netherlands. So our snacks are very limited.
Yes.
Apologies.
So what we could whip up is some nice fresh peppers with a little bit of carrot, and my personal favorite, a very, very small amount of peanut butter that was left, and bananas with a little sprinkle of cinnamon.
So today's topic is a very popular topic, sex. If you're related to me in any sort of way, please turn off now and watch one of our like puppy videos or something.
Basically what we wanted to talk about was lesbian bed death.
Lesbian bed death is the claim that lesbians that have been in a long-term relationship have minimal to no sex after a certain time.
So we're going to talk about, is lesbian bed death real? And if so, why?
And what are the implications for lesbian couples? All right, let's have a snack. I have a question for you all watching, and for you and for me. If that was the case, if you were in a long-term relationship, you're happy otherwise, but you just don't have sex anymore, would that be okay with you? How important is sex to you in a relationship? Type in the comments and you speak, my lady.
It's interesting because I think that if you're with someone and they make you happy and, you know, there's still a connection between you two, that I think is like way more powerful than sex. But I think that sex is like a way to like connect you and your partner. Because it's like, sure, I can like lick the bean and be like, woohoo. And sure, it feels good, but I think that's what I like about sex, is like the connection between two people. And I think that also, yeah, makes my relationship feel stronger.
Interesting. So it's, for you, it's not so much about that you have these urges that you need to fulfill.
Like I do, like sometimes, but it's not like an all the time thing. I'm not like walking around like, oh yeah. I think that, yeah, like sex can definitely make a relationship stronger if it's connecting you, not if it's just like a chore that you need to do to just like get it out of the way, you know?
So I agree with you. Thankfully. I feel, and I'm sure everyone can relate to this, that we go through different stages where our libido sometimes is high, other times it's pretty low.
Like if I'm ovulating, watch the fuck out.
So I think there's definitely stages where I'm like, don't have like a huge desire to have sex. But I think even in those times, I wouldn't really be, I think I would be okay with not having sex for like a while, like certain periods of time. But I don't think that I would be okay with like a completely sexless relationship.
Yeah.
And
same.
not even necessarily just because like, oh, I have urges, but because I do think, like you said, that like sex creates a bond that you can't really get in other ways. For me, actually, my favorite moment is always like the moment afterwards, like cuddling in bed, and then you're just like, have that, you know? It's just like, oh, I feel like so fulfilled.
My favorite part is the oh.
At least I still have something to look forward to afterwards. I'm like, well, sorry, your favorite part's done.
And I'm like, quick interlude. So if you're new to this channel and you like queer content, please subscribe. We would appreciate it so, so much. I am Alexis and this is
Lilian. So I know we're talking about sex here, and some of you may be thinking, okay, I am in a relationship where I'm not having as much sex as I'd like, or I'm not having the type of sex that I like anymore.
Or maybe you just want to introduce something to your partner and you don't really know like how to go about it.
And that is where our sponsor for this video comes in, Beducated.
Beducated is kind of like the Netflix of sexual wellness.
It's an online course platform with lots of video, written, and audio guides of how to do different sexual things.
So there's a lot of different courses in there, from like kinky sex to tantric massage. It's really kind of like a buffet for everyone.
Buffet, I like that. And it's actually really neat to have something like that, because I feel like a lot of times people learn from like porn or just like reading articles or something like that. But here you have like specific how-to guides and videos that show you actually how to do something. So whether you're in a new relationship and you want to, you know, explore different types of sex for the first time, or you've been in a long-term relationship and you want to spice things up a little bit, there's something in there for everyone.
So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to give it a try, click the link below and you can get one whole day of all of the courses for free, as well as 70% off of the yearly pass.
Perfect. Well, go check it out and thank us later. So we were just talking, it's almost going to be 5 years since we had our first date.
That's pretty crazy.
That's crazy. So I would say we're in a long-term relationship. Is lesbian bed death real? We should be able to know, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not a real thing.
She said it, you better believe her. I think there's two components why lesbian bed death is a concept out there that is very well known. One is that it is just natural for couples in a long-term relationship, regardless of the genders that are in it, that sexual activity declines with time.
Yeah, it's like, you know, that honeymoon phase at the very beginning, you know, a couple months in, maybe even the first year, where everything is just very like magical and new and fresh.
I think that's a narrative that pretty much anyone I've talked to in a long-term relationship can relate to. Obviously, some couples don't notice that much of a decline, others do. It's like a very personal thing. But I think I read that at about 2 years into the relationship, there's like a pretty steep decline in sexual activity, regardless of heterosexual or homosexual. But then there's also the second component, which is the widely accepted belief that has also been proven in some studies that men just have a higher libido than women. So then there's like the whole thing that if two women are in a relationship, their libidos are naturally going to be lower and they're in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So that adds up. Then it's like, if there's not a person with a high libido in there, then who's going to be initiating sex? Actually, I think there may be a third factor. Lesbian sex lasts on average longer than straight sex.
Now, it's up to you. You like quality over quantity or quantity over quality?
So maybe some lesbian couples are like, okay, we do our 3 hours a month. And then the straight couples split it up into like 15 minutes each.
I can see how that would make sense.
But who's keeping track, right? One more topic that I wanted to touch on was that there is like a pressure to have sex in a relationship, and to be like, if you don't have a specific amount of sex, then, as you were saying, some people feel like embarrassed or like there's something wrong in your relationship. So there are actually, when I was reading about this, there are actually women out there who are fully supporting lesbian bed death, and they're saying like, yeah, you know, the connection between two women can go much deeper than sex, and we just don't need that, and we can make love in other ways.
Yeah.
What else did you want to say, my cutie?
I love you. I just think that you should just go with the flow. Don't feel pressured. If you don't want to have sex, that's fine. Talk to your partner about it. If you do want to have a lot of sex, again, talk to your partner about it. Just go with the flow.
It's a very personal thing. Lesbians can have a lot of sex, and some people just choose not to because for whatever reason, you know.
And this can happen in heterosexual relationships just as much as queer relationships.
Preach, preach. Okay, we had this snack chat. Love always hearing from you, but like, I'm sure this was no surprise to us.
What are you talking about?
So I love always chatting with you, but like, we already know a lot of each other's opinions. So we'd love to hear your opinion. Please let us know in the comments, how important is sex in a relationship to you? Do you feel from your own experience that sex declines after several years in a relationship? Is that a problem or not? And again, check out Beducated and get that deal on the annual subscription. Next time we'll have better snacks.
Yeah, next time we will definitely have better snacks. Trust me.
Okay, remember to subscribe and like. Cheers.
Doei.